Please rise for silent invocation, followed by a pledge of allegiance. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Clerk, call the roll.
Councilman Foley?
Here.
Councilman Gifford?
Here.
Councilman Green?
Here.
Vice Mayor Gross?
Here.
Mayor Stillman?
Here, everybody is in attendance tonight, so we're going to move right on to item 4 and welcome Senator Tom Wright, all the way from the hallowed halls of Tallahassee, right?
Wow. Actually, from my house.
New summer.
14 minutes from here.
Tell your wife we appreciate her giving you a pass to get out for a few minutes.
She said I can only have 15 minutes.
All right. Welcome, sir.
Thank you all for having me here tonight. It's always a pleasure to be here in Port Orange to celebrate these important investments in this community. The projects that we're going to recognize tonight reflect exactly what happens when state and local leaders work together to identify urgent needs, smart solutions, and put the resources to work where they will make the most difference. As you all know, Port Orange and neighboring communities have faced serious challenges in recent years, from flooding from major storms that strained our critical infrastructure here in these communities, and it serves thousands of people that we need to help. So these projects are about building resiliency, protecting our neighborhoods, and ensuring that the waterways and the environment are safeguarded for generations to come. What makes today's occasions really meaningful is not just the check itself, but that the commitment that it represents. And these investments will help prevent future damage, protect families, and give our city and its partners the tools they need to meet tomorrow's challenges head on. So as you know, I'm honored to provide you with a check tonight for $4.4 million from the state of Florida.
Yeah. Big cardboard check, get him there.
Here it is.
Get that big check, Mr. Mayor.
This
I want to get that deposited quick just so we know it's clear.
If it doesn't clear, do you have my Mexican phone number?
Thank you very much. We appreciate all your support. Really do.
That's awesome.
All good? Don't rush off yet. We'll let these gentlemen have a word with you. Thank you, sir. You don't mind if I just leave this up here?
It's your check now.
Yeah, you know. That looks too good not to have one displayed.
Several months. Yeah.
Councilman Green, go right ahead.
Mr. Wright, I just want to say thank you very much for all your hard work and your support and everything you've done up there. I know it's a challenge because there's only so much money to hand out, but what you did for Port Orange is greatly appreciated. And again, we'll see you next year.
Thank you very much. Thank you again.
So go ahead.
Yeah, once again, Senator, thank you so much for all you've done over the years. This is it, right? 1 year left?
One more year.
All right, we need
Yeah.
you again. We'll
about
see you.
that? Yeah,
We'll
you'll
see you
see me
next
again.
year. Yes.
Yeah.
But thank you very much. And next time, can you get one that'll fit in the ATM?
So that's why we do the big checks, they don't clear.
All right. Thank you.
Trace?
Senator Wright, thank you very much. I know you fight for us all the time, and this year especially. You know as good as all of us as far as the flood and the mitigations and everything that we're up against. So every dime, but $4 million, wow. Thank you
You're
very
welcome.
much.
You're welcome, sir.
You know, Senator Wright, your service has been greatly appreciated to our city over the years. I knew you and I were going to get along from the first time I stepped into your office in Tallahassee, and we both had on cowboy boots.
Yes.
And I knew it was going to be the start of a great friendship. But no, in all seriousness, the ability for you to use state resources to help us when we need it most here is so important for our community, and thank you for doing that. You know, a lot of times at every level, doing this job is one that's pretty thankless. But we are grateful on behalf of all 60+ thousand residents, not to mention our businesses, that you go up there and you serve and you take time away from your family to represent the people that you care about and the community and the neighborhood that you live in. Thank you for bringing this money back for us to be able to use it. And we just can't say thank you enough. This is a lot of money. $4.4 million is not a small bucket of water that we're going to be, no pun intended, that we're going to be able to do with this. So the resiliency with everything with the flooding and all these major events, thank you very, very much to you and your team and your staff, and to our staff for all that they did, Wayne. And you guys worked really hard.
And if it's okay, I wanted to add, so one of the things I think for council and the residents to know about Senator Wright, so we go up there and visit with council members, and we visit lots and lots of people, and sometimes you're in and out real quick. Senator Wright had us in his office. We were well over half an hour, and not only were we in there, normally we go in and explain our projects, and they're somewhat technical. The senator knew what our projects were and sat there and engaged with our engineer, Gino Reed. We were going to give him an honorary engineering title because I think we must have, 15, 16 different places we visited during those days, and the most thorough knowledge and understanding of the requests that we had were the time we spent with you. So we did a lot of talking to a lot of people, and appreciate someone that put that much time into understanding what we were asking for.
Thank you very much.
We kind of went back and had staff take a look, and we cannot find any single time in the history of our city and the relationship with the state that we've been able to receive this kind of funding at this level. So this is definitely a record for us. It comes at a very much needed time. And as you know, with past projects that you have supported, we will not hesitate to get the money where it needs to be, get the projects going as fast as possible. That's a critical part. I just want to echo everybody else's statement, Senator Wright. One of the things that people don't realize is the complexity of how things work in Tallahassee. And it's not easy, but you and your staff make it very welcoming for our staff and folks like ourselves to get up there and navigate the process. You obviously, as well as Representative Chase Tremont, huge supporters of Port Orange. We know that. We're going into friendly places, but we also know you guys have to have help as well. And so just the process of you guys helping us navigate that, pointing us in the right direction, keeping the ear open. In fact, last year, and I'll have the city manager, just if he could touch back on what happened to us last year, was we got pointed in a direction that maybe we had not been fully aware of, and we received a tremendous opportunity to go and get additional funding. You want to just mention that? I don't know if we had a chance last year to say that to Senator
the
Wright.
Resilient Florida funds, where stormwater money. So legislative appropriations is one way to find state funding, but there are different other funding sources. And Resilient Florida was structured, and the leaders in Tallahassee and the senator in particular were helpful in saying, if you really want to get a lot of money for your stormwater, go out and do a vulnerability assessment and then start applying for Resilient Florida. And because of that, we jumped on it. In the last meeting, we had the presentation on that, and we have already applied for a Resilient Florida grant as a result of that. So thank you very much.
So that just goes to show, you guys helped get us pointed in the right direction. And from what we've seen, and we're proud of this, we seem to be a little bit farther along than a lot of municipalities across the state of Florida. So we're grateful for that. We're grateful for the relationship, your friendship, and your leadership in Tallahassee. We are certainly grateful for this check tonight. So again, thank you very much on behalf of all of the residents of the city of Port Orange.
It's my pleasure, and it will clear the bank, just so you know. we just like to make a little bigger presentation.
Yeah,
so you can
absolutely.
put it where you want it, hang it on the wall somewhere or wherever. But last thing is it won't be long. We'll be doing our budget requests again, so don't be bashful. It's almost time to start doing them for next year. How about that?
We will be on
October 6th is our first committee day already.
When is it?
October 6th.
Coming quick.
Yeah, it's about a
It's
month
coming
away.
quick.
Yep.
Yeah. So thank you very much for being
Thank
here
you.
tonight and giving
Thank
us
you
your
all.
time. You're always welcome.
Sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night. All right, moving on to item number 5, public comments on consent agenda items only. There's a bad echo on this. Robert, come on. Welcome. Good to see you.
Mayor, council members, Robert Reinhagen, 1425 Dexter Drive North, Port Orange. This has to do with the item 8 on the agenda. Webster Creek Mitigation Bank wetlands. And it talks about we have to send money to the St. John's Water Management District for a potential problems that they anticipate, such as the loss of oyster clam habitat and mangrove disturbances. Now, I know it's kind of late in the game, but because you've got a short time frame, but it seems that when we were doing the planning, we should have been able to take care of some of these things, like maybe plant mangroves somewhere else or something, or do something to make sure the oyster beds weren't disturbed or whatever. But it just seems that we could have done more. But more than that, I'm really concerned and feel uncomfortable with the fact that the St. John's Water Management District is directing you where to put the money. It would certainly seem better if we could do something here in Port Orange with that money. Thank you.
Thank you, Robert.
Thank you, Robert.
Appreciate you. All right, moving to item B, we are going to recess temporarily as the council and open up a joint meeting as the council and the CRA for a special meeting. So it looks like I will be running that. All right, can the clerk call the roll for the members of the Eastport Business Center Community Redevelopment Meetings?
Lance Green.
Here.
Ron Foley.
Here.
Scott Stiltner.
Here.
Tracy Gross.
Here.
Chairman Sean Gifford.
Here.
All right, all in attendance. Can the clerk call the roll for members of City Council?
Councilman Foley.
Here.
Councilman Gifford.
Here.
Councilman Green.
Here.
Vice Mayor Gross.
Here.
Mayor Stiltner.
Here, and everybody for the council happens to be here as well. Are there any objections to the notice of the meeting? Hearing no objections, the meeting notice is accepted. I will be opening the item for presentation by staff with joint discussion by the council and the CRA. Chairman Gephardt will call for the vote later in the meeting here by the CRA, and I will call for the vote by the city council. Item number 2 is the approval of Salty Marine Services Incorporated doing business as Cito Daytona Ponce New Smyrna Economic Incentive Agreement as it relates to Eastport CRA redevelopment plan and LDC Chapter 20 targeted businesses. May I have a motion and a second to put this item on the floor?
Make a motion to move to approve the economic incentive agreement for Salty Marine Services, Inc., a Florida corporation doing business as Cito Daytona Ponce New Smyrna, and authorize the mayor and the city clerk to sign the agreement.
Second.
We have a motion and a second as we need separate motions, right? As a council.
Yeah.
All right. Now we need one as a CRA.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, you're not going to be able to make that motion for the CRA.
Gotcha.
Okay. So I need a same motion and a second for the CRA.
Same motion?
And second it.
We have a motion and a second for the CRA. All yours, my friend.
All right, Tim Burman, Community Development. The request is for economic incentive agreement for the Cito company. They're looking to relocate into the Eastport Business Park on a lot there. The economic incentive agreement is structured to assist with the cost needed for the permitting fees and relocation of gopher tortoises on the site then. As it indicated in the report, basically the intent is to make that the regional headquarters. They'll have a laydown yard and storage yard along with a building developed in the future for the company there. They do Cito services for Volusia County, Flagler County, Brevard, and are expanding to other counties along the coast here for boat salvage, boat repair, and boat on-water services. So this is basically aligns with what the Eastport CRA is intended for to assist projects here there. When we initialed the first site design work on the site, that's when we discovered a significant amount of gopher tortoises on this 1.4 acre site. There's about 26 burrows on 1.4, which is extremely high for a site that small. So this was not accounted for when they first did the initial site plan or started the site plan work then. So in order to kind of keep moving forward with the project, they wanted to try to get these costs at least covered here then. The way the agreement is structured is that the permitting must be done, the relocation must be completed, it must be approved by Florida Fish and Wildlife prior to the reimbursement of the funds then. And typically when you have the gopher tortoises relocation, that is right when the start of site construction is going on then. So this would be probably something with, if this gets approved, their intent is to move forward with getting the site plan approved and be ready to go under construction, and then would start the gopher tortoise permitting process and relocation process. Staff is recommending approval, and the applicant is here too to discuss the request and also their business proposal coming into Port Orange.
All right, hang on and talk. So let's see if anybody on council, the CRA, has any questions. We'll start with Councilman Green.
Do I gotta be a different seat?
No, you
Different questions?
you can stay right there.
Okay,
You-
so you're saying there's 28, roughly 28 burrows, let's just say, so it's 20 turtles maybe, at how much per turtle? $6,500?
This is basically utilizing the city's bank there, which is $800.
It's $800 per turtle to relocate them to the
Yes.
city's property?
Yes. There's also basically all the fees associated with that too, and the equipment operator there was calculated in that cost then.
Okay.
Anything else? Sean?
Nope. I have no question.
Tracy? Reed?
Do you have a total number that what we're looking here to waive? What's like overall what it all adds up to? With the fees?
28,000 is what we estimated as
Okay.
basically there. I think it was around 27,000 there. We just rounded up then.
Mm,
And then of course, if it's less than that, then we would only reimburse that amount then. If it's more than, the applicant would be required to pay the difference.
Anything
good.
else? Anything else from you?
No.
All right, is there anybody in the public that would wish to comment or speak on this? Seeing none. Final comments back to the CRA and council, go ahead.
I have, the issue I have with this is one thing, and again, I'm very much for the incentive, don't get me wrong. I would like to see this reimbursement be done when they get a CO. Okay, I don't wanna go out there and clear a site and then somebody walk away and have paid this money to move turtles and maybe they walk away. I believe that this is a great incentive, but it should be reimbursed at CO when it's similar to the one we just put at Ridgewood and Dunlawton. They built the building and got everything done and then came and asked for the credit. And that's, I feel the same way about this one, is that it should be credited at CO and not just at land clearing myself. That's just me.
Okay. Sean?
It's not an unreasonable request. I mean, if things go south on the deal, then we're looking at a vacant lot. We just paid for turtles to be removed, and then next thing you know, we got them back again. We're doing it all over again. So it's a good thought.
Anything else?
Nope.
I'm good.
Reed?
I hadn't thought of that, but I actually think Lance brings up a good point. I think that's a little bit of a good faith kind of mindset, which I believe the applicant has that, and I think they're going to go through with this. It's not really, it's probably a moot point at the end of all of it, but I think Lance has a very good point in that regard.
Wayne, is there anything procedurally on that if they want to amend the motion to do it that way?
No, sir, you're allowed to do that if that's what you prefer.
Okay, all right.
Do we need the motion amended though in order to
Let's,
vote?
well, let's hold on. We'll give the applicant a chance to come up and talk, and then we'll come back for that one. Does the applicant want to speak? You knew we had to get you up here, right?
Yeah, I thought I was gonna get away with it. Good evening,
Welcome.
council. Thank you for hearing this proposal. We're excited to continue to grow in this community. Very happy to call Port Orange home. You know, I'm a graduate, my wife's a graduate of Spruce Creek High School. We've been in the community for a long time. There's many places we can go, but I prefer to stay here. Eastport is an opportunity to bring some growth to that area that's long needed it. Unfortunately, we found Jurassic Park back there with all these turtles. Sure. My name is Nick Foster, president of Salty Marine Services, Cito Daytona Ponce, New Smyrna. So that's sort of the situation we have. I don't disagree with the CO portion. I would ask maybe that we can figure something else out as far as that's concerned. The value here in this ask for us is the use of the city's turtle mitigation bank. Normally, turtle mitigation is anywhere between $6,500 to $8,000 a turtle. So if you have 20 turtles, your project just turned into $160,000, adventure to get these things removed so that we can begin construction. Our plan is sort of a crawl, walk, run plan. We're working with Bobby Ball at Zev Cohen as far as our site work goes, to put together a plan for us. We currently rent inside Eastport now. And so what we want to do is we want to clear the site first, get fencing up so that we can move equipment in, and then over time slowly start working on what our needs are going to be as we start continuing to grow and regionalize. We're going to have the, if everything goes properly, within the next 60 days, we're going to be CETO Jacksonville as well. That will be run out of Eastport Parkway Business Park. So we've got a lot of things kind of moving forward concurrently. To begin construction with 18 months is not a problem, but to have a CO in 18 months is not probably going to be reasonable at this point. So I'd like to maybe reconsider or talk about different ways that we could, once the site is cleared, fenced, and we move in at that point, whether that's okay. Are you looking for a completed building within 18 months to?
Well, I'm not, yeah, kind of, I guess I am. I'm looking at a finished product myself, yes. I mean, in reality, we're looking at $25,000, right? I mean, that's what we're really talking about here. That's a drop in the bucket for this project, is all I'm getting at. And again, I'm all about the incentive, and I'm all about you moving in here and us doing what we can do. But again, at the same time, I just, I have to be reserved with where I am as a builder. I know how things go. And, you know what I mean? I know this is some upfront money for you, but if we could assure you that you got it at the end, you know what I mean?
Well, can we go ahead, because I don't know the process of the Turtle Mitigation Bank and how that works, but do we have access to the city's Turtle Mitigation Bank?
Yeah, I think it was one of the thoughts is locking in the spots to make sure that they don't get used by someone else in the interim, correct? Tim may have more follow-up on that.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, so you can authorize them to hold the spots for a certain amount of time, and that way he's guaranteed those spots, and then he would pay if you want to do something like that. Because we're about out. We're in the current phase that we have. We're getting close to full. So.
Really? I mean, we want your turtles in Port Orange too.
Thank you.
So yes, but if we could put them in our bank, and again, assure him that, when the time comes for him to build, that he can go put them in our bank, and when it's all said and done, we give you the credit.
Well, the turtles are, maybe I'm misunderstanding. Tim, you can come back up here with them if that works. You can stay. So I guess maybe what I'm trying to figure out in my mind is, so you got a clear part of the property, you're gonna have to fence it. Do the turtles all have to be gone before that occurs?
Yes.
Correct. The turtles will be removed first, then basically.
They need to be removed, okay.
Yeah, so what we'd have in this case is, since it's basically going to be the yard, which is simply going to be the buffers, fencing, and the driveway, and then the yard material in there will be a site plan. And so for this project, we would basically issue a completed site plan approval through the inspection process. That would basically have essentially your developed site then. So if you're looking for a mechanism to reimburse it when the site is developed and ready to be used, it would be basically staff's approval of the site improvements and for the site plan.
So your suggestion, if I'm understanding correctly, would be not at CO, but at site plan?
Right, because phase 2 is a CO. Phase 2 of the project.
We're putting on a concrete pad first, and then eventually a building.
will eventually come in here, and the building is what gets the CO. The site, if there's no building on it, we can't issue a CO then. So we have to tie it to kind of the approval process, and that would be essentially the site inspection for the site improvements.
So your recommendation would be to do it at the time of site plan approval. So once the concrete pad's down.
Okay, because once we get that approval, you can start using that to store the boats, operate out of there then. So that would be an occupied use site for the business then.
So my question to you is then, Mr. Foster, once we do a site plan, we get the concrete poured, what are you looking at time-wise? 24 months, 36 months to have a building up and erected?
In a perfect world, it'd happen, as soon as possible.
Correct.
We would like to move forward as quickly as possible. I think, 24 months, 36 months is a reasonable time period for the building to get up. Obviously, we're going to have to go out and start getting bids from contractors. There's wild price changes as far as price per foot building goes at the moment, which is what has kind of stemmed development in that area.
I'm
to date.
familiar.
So,
Right now, my question then, Lance, is if we go in and we approve it now with a contingency of CO being completed within 36 months or having forfeiture back, trying to have something done in 36 months, having it that way he can move on with the project.
Can I ask a question? Can I interject? So, walk me through this again. You're going to do an ABC permit, what you're saying.
We will be doing a full site plan, engineered drawings will be submitted there.
Okay.
That will then be issued in terms of site construction permit then, and they will go ahead and do the site improvements.
So it's clearing, it's underground, it's all that you're saying?
Yes, it's all that then.
And concrete on the site?
Yeah, if there's, concrete, the apron into the site will be basically part of that.
But just not the building pad, is that what we're saying?
Building pad, not yet, because they don't know exactly where the building's gonna go on the site, so that will come as a modification down the road then.
Okay, so you're saying site plan approval, but now you're not knowing where the building's going.
The site plan, in order to develop the site, in order to basically put the driveway in, the buffers, the required fencing around it, establish the yard in terms of the material for that then, and the grading associated with that, any type of grading for swales, that requires a site plan, engineered drawings.
Okay.
That will be required by him to show us those improvements for the yard.
Okay,
We will get that, we will review that, that will be approved. Once he's ready to go to construction, that's when the gopher tortoises will have to be relocated, and basically, he will move into construction doing all those improvements then. And then once those improvements have been completed, staff will go inspect them, make sure that they're done per the plans. And if that's done, we will basically issue the site inspection has been completed, the site has been built per plans, it's been approved. He can use it as a CTO yard moving forward, then that would be completion of the project then.
Okay. I'm more confused
Basically
now.
two separate projects. You've got a yard and a building. The building is a future
Building a
enhancements
future
to the
phase.
lot. So then for council, your question is, do you want to offer the incentive at the completion of the yard without a new building being built? That's, I
okay,
think
because
is
now
what
I'm
they're
getting more confused then, Tim, I'm sorry, but now you've got two different projects, is what we're saying. And so you're going to use it as a yard, which, does that meet the zoning of what we're doing down there? He can use this yard without any building?
One of the permitted uses in that zoning district is impound lot.
Oh, okay.
So
All
it
right.
is a permitted use in there, and it's part of one of the targeted businesses on that then, so it complies with that requirement there.
Okay, perfect, all right, thanks. I'm good.
Did you need to weigh in? You kind of had that look on your face a second ago, like,
Yes, at some point here, I just want to make it clear for the agreement.
Okay.
I have to revise this agreement if there's going to be conditions. I just want to try to take it all in.
right. So I understand, I get it, and I appreciate that clarification, Tim, because that, like, I'm okay with that mechanism as you described it. Once they're ready to basically start doing business, site has been approved, because I get that the nature of this business really isn't about the building. The majority of the business you're going to be doing forever and ever and ever really won't have that much to do with the building, as far as I understand it. But at some point, I get it, you want to have offices and the building space there and that kind of stuff there too, so, and I
Key is
appreciate.
we're growing.
Yeah,
So
sure.
we're kind of future planning a little bit here. It's a crawl, walk, run
Yep.
strategy is sort of the idea. But unfortunately, due to the nature of these turtles, we've got to get rid of these before we can do anything at all.
Right.
We don't say get rid of
And
it.
what I don't want to
relocate.
What I don't want to see is us. I want to see this happen. The whole point
Yeah.
of
Sure.
this is so that we can have these kind of things happen. So I don't want to see us hog tie your hands together and make you cash poor when you're trying to build a business in Port Orange and trying to expand on a business here. I would like to see us. I think still it's a good point that we still have to. We have to protect the interest of the taxpayers. So I think that at the completion of site plan, I'm good with us at that point. That would be what I'd want to try to amend the motion to, if everyone else is.
Well, let's see if
on
you
the
have
same.
convinced Councilman Gephardt to
Yeah.
amend his motion as such.
I'm back to where they originally came in here for. I don't think we need to do anything further. I'd call for the vote.
Can we just leave it as is?
Yep.
And who was his second?
We
I
haven't
was.
had one yet.
Yeah, we
I didn't make a
okay.
motion for it.
You made the motion as a councilman, not as a CRA.
Correct.
Yeah, okay.
Is that correct?
All right, well, let's do that. Let's go down that path. Let's have a vote here and see if we can get business done the way it is. If not, then somebody else can make a motion to amend. Did I do that right, Mr. Attorney?
Perfect.
Okay, so call the roll for the city council on the motion.
Councilman Foley?
Yes.
Councilman Gephardt?
Yes.
Councilman Green?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Gross?
Yes.
Mayor Stillman?
Yes.
Now, can I call the roll for the CRA?
Lance Green?
Yes.
Jonathan Foley?
Yes.
Scott Stiltner?
Yes.
Tracy Brooks?
Yes.
Chairman Sean Gifford?
Yes.
Both motions and seconds
Thank you.
approved 5-0. Hang on one second.
You did.
Any further business to be brought before members of the Town Center Redevelopment City Council? Seeing none?
Eastport Business Center.
I'm sorry, yeah. For the Town Center Redevelopment Agency and/or City Council. There being none, I will entertain a motion for this joint special meeting to be adjourned, but pause for 1 second. Anything we missed?
You're good.
You sure? You're
That's
good.
it.
All right, I'll take that motion to adjourn the
You're
special
good.
meeting.
Awesome. Thank you.
One
Thank
thing
you.
before you walk off, Mr. Foster, I want to point out something now that this is done is this is exactly what we need for the city of Port Orange.
Absolutely.
What we've been begging for inside Eastport and getting development for years and years moving. This is incredible. You've been in Eastport for how long now?
7 years.
7 years renting, and now have decided to invest into the city. So all I can do is ask that the rest of the council understand, if y'all have anybody like this individual that's renting in that area, now's the time to go over there, knock on doors and go, let's buy instead of rent, because this is a prime example. We have a citizen of Port Orange
Yes, sir.
from Spruce Creek High School,
30 birds.
you know, and here he is investing back
He's
into
been
a
successful
city.
nonetheless.
So
And he's still successful.
So I just wanted to say, first of all, I know all that we just went through maybe not be as clear as mud, but that's okay. I just wanted to say that we have a lot of businesses in the city of Port Orange that come to the city. They do very well here. They benefit very well. But not all of them give back the way I would like to see. And I just want to say thank you and compliment you on your business, because we are well aware that CETO gives back in the community in a lot of ways. And we see you guys out there and we know what you do when you don't have to do it. And that makes a huge difference to us, and we truly appreciate that. So
Well, thank you.
best of luck,
absolutely.
grow, prosper, do things proud in Eastport, and
Let's get more dogs.
you got it. We're working on it. Yeah, we're done.
Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Foster. All right, back to City Council. Can I get a motion to approve the consent agenda items?
Move to approve items 6 through 8.
A second.
We have a motion and a second. We do have the clerk call the roll.
Councilman Foley?
Yes.
Councilman Gifford?
Yes.
Councilman Green?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Groves?
Yes.
Mayor Stiltner?
Yes, consent agenda passes 5-0. Public participation, non-agenda items. How about Miss Pat Miles? Welcome.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
I appreciate
Tell us
that.
what's on your mind about Family Days.
Well, it just so happens, sir. Oh, I am Patricia Miles. I live at 1508 Eureka Palm Drive in Port Orange, Florida. And Art House, I'm representing Art House this evening. We are very excited to host our upcoming 29th Annual Street Painting Festival during the Port Orange Family Days on October 11th and 12th. We will host over 40 artists from across the state to create a live art experience for our local residents. Our wonderful mayor, Scott, has agreed to take part as our celebrity judge and select the 2025 Mayor's Choice Award.
You may not know what you've asked for, so.
But we do
I'll do my
appreciate
best.
your participation. So, any questions?
I expect all you guys out there doing your best work.
If it's not a cake, eating contest.
I know, right?
I can't draw a stick figure. So.
I would like to let you know that our summer art camp exhibit took place just a couple weeks ago. And we had over 643 artworks created by our campers ages 5 through 16. And we had over 530 gallery guests that evening. We had wall-to-wall cars parked outside of the rec center. And so we appreciate especially Tracy, as always, and you, sir, Scott, for showing up for that evening. So again, thank you for your support for Art House.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Pat.
Thanks,
Good to see
Patricia.
you. Council members, let's go down here and start with Councilman Foley.
Just wanted to give a quick congratulations. I believe this was touched on a little bit at our last meeting, but want to congratulate our former mayor, Mr. Don Burnett, on his new position as president of the South Daytona Port Orange Chamber of Commerce. Really excited for him. I know he's had a heart for public service since I've known him, and I could not have thought of a more fitting role for him. So if he's listening somewhere, I want to say congratulations to him and invite him personally to come in here and keep us updated from time to time. We'd love to see him.
Anything else?
That's it.
How about it, Tracy?
So, Parks and Recreation, I talked about this last time, but I want to make sure everybody's got it on the calendar. White Place Park, September 20th at 9 a.m. That is going to be where you get to pick and choose as far as designs and suggestions for the transformation of White Place Park. So that is at 9 a.m. at the park, September 20th. Also, the new exhibit at Art House. She talked about it, but it's amazing. And I know Sean's going to talk about it too. Seeing what these kids did over the summer camp program and all the pieces of work from 6-year-olds all the way to 17, it makes me feel really, really bad on my skills as far as an artist. And I agree with Councilman Foley. I can't draw a stick figure. These kids are just amazing. Monday through Friday from 11 to 5, is it?
During summer art camp?
No, time for people to come out. Yeah. So come out and tour the exhibit. It'll be up for the next week or two. And it's just amazing. Come and enjoy that and then go out and patronize the local restaurants afterwards. And that's what I got.
All right. Sean?
Yeah, I want to say that I'm kind of ashamed to say that the first time I was in the art house was for your exhibit, and I was blown away about what we have there for young people to participate in it, and the amount of artwork and the amazing artwork. I was blown away. And then as I was leaving, a friend of mine was pulling up. We were supposed to be meeting out at the track, and I'm like, "What are you doing here?" He goes, my granddaughter's artwork's in there. I've got to go in and she's going to show it off to me. And that's what it's all about. And I was just blown away about the talent, and then just that facility is fantastic. So it's very exciting. And I'm looking forward to the artwork over Family Days. It's going to be fun. Got the opportunity to be the first customer for Beach Bros Coffee down at the river. And what a fantastic redevelopment project in that little building. I mean, those guys are doing a lot there. It's a great view. The coffee was fantastic, and I'm real proud of those guys for investing in our community in that way. I know it's not easy. Thank you for the staff for filling in the ruts along Yorktown Boulevard. I heard that was completed today. I appreciate that because someone brought that to our attention the last meeting, and I drove by there, and it's really sad that happens, but it's going to happen. I'm glad we were able to address it in some ways. I also want to say, the events that occurred over the last the last 48 hours with our police department, obviously something that's very. You see a police officer, man, just thank them for their service. The things that they're faced with, it's just unbelievable. And, prayers to the families that are involved with that, and the chief and your staff. So our thoughts go out to them. That's all.
I'm going to be not so popular today, but nothing different.
Go right ahead.
I guess what I want to do is I want to ask our staff and city manager and Robin, and it's about a code enforcement issue. I'm tired of going to the gas station and the gas station being disgustingly dirty. And I go to the same gas station over and over and over, and I know that it's not being maintained because I'm looking at the same crap on the same piece of concrete. I want our code enforcement to let's be a little more stringent on these particular properties. They need to be, I don't want people to pull into our city and say, man, this is a crappy looking gas station. It's the very gas station I go to. We need to do better at making our code enforcement be in touch with businesses and keeping these businesses clean. You can run up and down Dunlawton right now, and I'll give you a perfect example, is Port Orange Imaging has this sign out front that looks like crap. It's falling apart, tiles on the roof falling apart. This is not acceptable in our city. We need to do better because we don't have any more new build. So we have got to maintain what we got. And I want to implore our city manager and our code enforcement to do better at going to these businesses, creating relationships where we can say, look, you need to clean up a little bit. I don't care if it's a lot. But when you go to the same places and you see the same garbage in the same place at gas stations throughout our city, it's just not acceptable. So I want us to do better at our code enforcement. I know we've got a full code enforcement staff now, but I want them to be more aggressive, is the term I'm saying. Other than that, the one other thing that does concern me is the YMCA agreement. I know we've all got a briefing on that deal and them not being in agreement with their contract. And that has a concern that I think we should need to all keep aware of, okay? That's all I got.
Anything else?
No.
All right. We touched on this the last meeting, but I want to honor this person again tonight a little better. On Sunday, I had the privilege to attend the funeral services for our volunteer, Mary Whitmire, who passed away recently at the age of 101. I want to thank our police chief and his staff and everybody that was involved in being able to put together a celebration of life to honor Mary and really going above and beyond to do that. I got to speak briefly at the celebration of life and you know, I wasn't sure I was going to be able to make it, and I can tell you I am super glad that I was able to do it because I was where exactly I needed to be. So one of the things we do from time to time, and we'll talk more about that program in just a second, but one of the things we do from time to time is people that have served this city, we like to read the obituary into the public record here on the city council dais. So a lot of times that's going to be one of you guys doing it, but I'm going to take this one tonight if that's okay with you guys and read the obituary now. Born March 27th, 1924 in East Aurora, New York, and a longtime resident of Port Orange, Florida, passed away peacefully on August the 19th, 2025 at the age of 101. She was married to the late Norman Albert Whitmire. Mary Jane was the beloved mother of Holly Carol Higgins, a cherished grandmother of Bill, Robert, Rachel, Nicole, Emily, and Sarah, and a treasured great-grandmother of Eden, Ava, Olivia, Joshua, Grace, Savannah, Jack, McKenna, and Mabel. She was preceded in death by her parents Otto and Helen, and her brothers Kenneth and George Schonblum. Mary Jane was a past member of the East Aurora Fire Department Ladies Auxiliary, and after moving to Florida, she became a dedicated member of the Port Orange Police Department VIP organization, where she faithfully served 43 years before retiring just a few weeks prior to her passing. She also enjoyed fellowship and friendship as a participant in the Red Hat Society. Her memorial service was held on Sunday, August the 31st, 2025 at Our Lady of Lourdes in Daytona. So, you know, I just wanted to make a couple of comments about this individual because they're wholeheartedly deserved. To have somebody who comes to our city and serves in a volunteer capacity for 40 years. Let me put that into perspective for a second. 1989, June 1989, I met Mary for the first time. That was when I got hired as a 19-year-old police officer here in the city of Port Orange. She was already there for 7 years. I think I noted that would have made me at 12 years old when she started serving in the police department. She served under 6 different police chiefs in the city of Port Orange. What we used to ask these volunteers to do, a lot of those tasks we no longer ask them to do because things change over time. But when I tell you guys, I distinctly remember 3 o'clock in the morning, cold, wet, raining, working a traffic fatality, and Mary and her husband Norman showing up, getting out of bed in the middle of the night to come down there and help us and expect nothing in return. Maybe a cup of coffee every now and then, but nothing in return. Just an amazing soul, an amazing person, an incredible legacy for volunteering, which brings me to the next thing. But digress for one more moment. Everybody always wants to know, what's the secret to living that long? The chief and I learned, apparently it's not to miss a happy hour and have at least a gin and tonic a day. We learned that about Mary. We always learn something a little bit different when somebody passes that maybe they didn't want to share. By the way, Chief, you're welcome to come up if you have any words you want to mention. But I wanted to just talk about the volunteer program for a moment. The Port Orange VIP program, or what is Volunteers in Police Servicing, is a program that she was one of the founding members of. It's been around over 4 decades. It is an incredible organization. These are folks who come out there and do a lot of different things that are non-law enforcement related. They don't carry guns, they don't have law enforcement powers, but there's a lot of things that they help our organization do that benefits the residents of the city of Port Orange. And if anybody is looking for an organization to volunteer in, it is incredibly well run. It is like a family structure in the organization. To watch how these folks take care of each other and serve together is amazing. And so you have to be 21 years of age. Apparently the brackets are 21 to 101. So anything there in the middle. But please reach out to the police department. They have an application process. They like to get about 12 hours of committed time a month, although I think that's flexible from time to time. We even have some folks that are seasonally. I know over the years, I don't know if it's that way, Chief, or not, but we've had folks that are part-time residents of Port Orange. They're only here for 5-6 months out of the year, but when they're in town, they serve. So I just wanted to put a plug in for that in honor of Mary and that program. It is very, very important to the Port Orange Police Department to have those folks as part of our city network. So next thing is next week on September 11th, the Port Orange Halifax Hospice will have a 9/11 memorial ceremony. It is at the Port Orange location there off of Briarwood, and it starts at 8:30 in the morning. I will be attending that to read a proclamation from the city of Port Orange. So if anybody else wants to attend, they're welcome to do that. And that's all I've got for tonight. Item number 12, report from Kipper Sports on the Cypress Head Golf Course. I know you're not going to come up here and say you guys are hoping for more rain. Go ahead.
Mayor, are you good? You're good.
Did I miss one?
Just a couple of
Just
them.
city
Oh!
manager and attorney.
Hey, don't go away. This usually goes pretty quick.
I'll pass it on to.
Anything from the city attorney
All
tonight?
good. Thank you.
Anything on my left from the city manager?
No, I don't have anything further.
See what I mean? Welcome, sir. Go right ahead.
Thank you. Good evening, Mr. Mayor, council members. Jeff Dayton, General Manager at Cypress Head Golf Club. I'm here to report on 3 months of May through July. Well, right now the course obviously is underwater.
A little wet.
Back nine
Passed on the
months.
way in tonight.
Maybe we get a few days without rain and we'll get back.
Yeah.
But other than that, the course has been in great shape. Financially, we're doing well. May was a little slower month coming out of busy season and had a little net loss of about $2,500. But then we picked back up in June, picked up another $12,000 to the bottom line, and then in July added another $20,000 to the bottom. So year to date, we're under budget revenues by $28,000, but we're still over budget bottom line by $70,000. So we're looking good. August panned out pretty well, and September should go well as well. So we're doing well. Rounds of golf are under budget by 516. We've already done 42,500, and but compared to the prior year, we're about right on pace with last year. So course is looking good. When we've learned that people will play in the heat, they can't play in the rain. It's been a tough year, weather-wise, summarized weather-wise, but we still hanging in there. Team is performing well. We've had an NPS of 91.7 through the 3 months, which is very high. As a matter of fact, it's been tops in our company, in Kemper Sports, which is a pretty good accolade considering all the great properties that we manage. Conditions are great. Darren Bocci, our superintendent, continues to, although he's pulling some hairs out, he's still managing the course very well. Our team is dedicated to providing the best turf conditions, and you know, we through that 3-month period we're discussing, we had a 9.3 rating on course conditions. So again, we continue to rate better than the other courses in our area. Our service satisfaction 9.8, and that's just a testimony to all the great people that work there that really care about the customer's golf experience. Course highlights, you know, we continue to maintain best-in-class course conditioning. We just won the Best of Daytona again. We actually won public and private, so it's kind of weird, but we really don't get one public, but people thought we were the best private club too. So that'll be coming out.
That's interesting.
Yes, we're kind of not sure about that one because we don't want to give people the wrong impression of the facility that we are, but we'll work around that.
We'll figure out how to use that for our
Yeah,
advantage.
right.
Go ahead.
So we've had a great summer with junior play. We hosted our first ever drive chip and putt where we had over 150 juniors and families. A lot of junior golf events and 4 junior camps. So we continue to host Spruce Creek High boys and girls golf teams. So they've kicked off their 25-26 campaign and they're in full swing now. So a lot of great things going on at the club. You know, it's still that kind of weird part of the season where we're not super busy, but we're still maintaining a lot of planning for the future. And then heading into starting this month is Military and First Responder Appreciation Month, as Cypher said. So we're giving discounts to all active, retired military, and all first responders. And we're also having our September 11th Salute Scramble, which is sold out. 136 golfers. We've got a lot of great things happening there. We're going to raise a lot of money, thousands of dollars for the Folds of Honor. So that's very exciting. That's coming up soon. But and very exciting thing is happening end of the month. We're starting our bunker project. So long needed bunker renovations happening. It's supposed to start September 29th. So we pray that's going to continue, and it has a 180-day contract term, but we're hoping to knock that out in 2.5 to 3 months and have it done by the end of the year. So,
Jeff, how does that affect? Give us an idea how that affects play. I mean, of course, people still be out there playing and doing stuff and just kind of working around the project.
yeah, safety's first, right? So we're going to some holes we can work around, play around the work. Many holes will have to be closed, but we will not have more than 1 hole closed per day. So we'll figure out how we're going to market that. We might just say, hey, take a birdie. You get 1 guaranteed birdie per round. Yeah.
Right.
So we'll figure that out. But
okay.
And then we're going to get rid of 4 bunkers we're getting rid of, and the rest we're going to maintain, renovate the drainage, and bring in new sand. So
okay.
We'll figure it out, and the golfers, as they see it, similar to our car path project, you know, the disruption is a good growing pain. So I think we'll be okay.
Good.
And you know, fingers crossed, our contractor is going to do a great job for us.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Anything else?
That's all I have.
Anything from up here?
I appreciate Leslie reached out about me singing the anthem on the 11th. Unfortunately, I don't think I'll be in town, so won't be able to be a part of it. But I'm sure y'all have a great scramble and be a great event as always.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thank
Good to
you
see
all. Good night.
All things golf. Item 13, Golf Advisory Board report. Good to see you.
Good to see you guys. Rich Lee, Golf Advisory Board. Couple of quick things. I guess first of all, I'd like to thank you all for the support for the Mayor's Tournament. It really turned out well. We haven't spoken in a long time, so it was a great tournament. Again, big turnout, a lot of money made, hopefully for Parks and Rec, and that will continue on. Also want to thank you, and this may be a little premature because there seems to be confusion who I should be thanking. There's a stream that runs through the golf course, which I think most of you have been in probably from time to time. But along 4 and running through 2 and along that side, that got cleaned out this week just before all the rain came, and it made an immense difference in the way the water flows through the community. I don't know where it goes into Water's Edge, where that ends, and it looked like they didn't clean beyond a bend, basically where I could see. And I know they didn't clean on the other side of Airport Road because, as I understand it, that's county responsibility. So we're hopeful that the flow will continue, but when you look at what happened so far and all the rain that we've had, the flow has really improved dramatically. So that was a really great thing. The reason I say I don't know who to thank is at the meeting tonight, Darren said it was he that arranged for it. So Jeff doesn't know whether he's paying for it or you're paying for it. So I'm just thankful I got it done. also getting some feedback, mostly from residents of the community, for scum in the ponds. Our ponds really aren't very deep, and when you hit the heat that we've got and have had, you're going to get algae buildup. I mean, we've had the people come in that help to clear that up, but the ponds are shallow and they can only spray so much, and the frequency is, limited based on regulations, so there's not a lot they can do. The one item that I'm a little disturbed in, I'm also on the board for the Homeowners Association. Jeff wanted to put some flags out for advertising, and where he suggested they go and actually installed them was on HOA property. And the HOA board said, we don't want them. We don't want them there, we want them down. And so I think he may have talked to Wayne, I'm not sure that he did, but he attempted to put them in another location and was told that the city wouldn't allow him to put those flags out. And I don't know if there's a particular rule or regulation that you've got as to where those things can be located, but.
You can guarantee that.
Yeah, okay. But it would be good if they could have, because they're just promotional from events that they had, like they had the junior program. He really wanted to put those out to promote the fact that we got this big kid, with a drive putts and chip program for a couple of days. And I really, as a council member for the HOA, I was disturbed by the fact that it was a 4-1 vote. We don't want them out there. So anyway, anything you can do relative to that would be helpful. Any questions, comments?
Where were the signs going? Out by the road, out by Airport Road?
I think he was trying to put them out by the road to designate, so as people are going by, they can see that there's a big junior program going on. But yeah, and that property right now, it's owned by the HOA.
That's the property out on Airport Road
Yeah,
or
right.
Williamson?
Yeah, right at Airport Road when you come into the community at Cypress Ridge Parkway. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, from sidewalk to sidewalk, the resident, the HOA owns that property.
So there's definitely city ordinances that will be involved anytime you're wanting to put out promotional items and signage and things like that. There's different ones for city right of way versus HOA properties and things like that. So,
Yeah, sure.
but if the board has any questions and needs clarification on that, we can certainly get that for you.
Yeah.
Because there are some of those things that have to be adhered to. 'Cause
All right.
that has to be consistent all over the.
One thing to do want to thank him for bringing that up, but it was the city that cleaned a ditch with one of our contractors. So one of the things that we did this year following the hurricanes, there's a number of these canals and ditches that are very hard to get into, and our equipment will occasionally get in there and get broken and then not be able to work for a while. So we brought in contractors to help us in some of the more difficult areas, and that's one of the more difficult ones to get to. And so Public Works is responsible for having someone get in there and do that. Really good timing, so thank you very much for bringing that up. That was a big thing for them to get in there and do that.
Yeah.
Good deal. So he won't get a bill.
Yeah.
How many
Even
golf balls
better.
did y'all collect?
Yeah, I'm sure there was a
G
few.
on 'em.
And how many of them had a little Reed Foley star on them?
You
Yeah.
will not believe how many balls, especially on two. There must have been 50 balls that came out around the bank there. They're all gone now, I can assure you
Yeah.
that.
Thanks,
Anything
Rich.
else?
Nope, appreciate you.
Thanks.
Thank
Thank you,
you very much.
Appreciate it.
On to the public hearing portion of the meeting. Item 14 for the second reading of ordinance number 2025-20.
If you need a bathroom break, now's the time. An ordinance of the City of Port Orange, Volusia County, Florida, rezoning plus or minus .46 acres from community commercial to neighborhood preservation located at 412 Jefferson Avenue, 414 and 416 Jefferson Avenue. Rezoning plus or minus .18 acres from Ridgewood Development to neighborhood preservation located at 117 Fleming Avenue. Rezoning plus or minus .77 acres from neighborhood preservation to office residential transition located at 608 Roselle Street and parcel number 6304-07-00-0760, generally located on Dunlawton Avenue. Rezoning plus or minus .24 acres from neighborhood preservation to government public use located at 413 Herbert Street. Rezoning plus or minus 1.07 acres from planned commercial development to government public use, being identified as parcel numbers 6304-07-001820 and 6304-07-001401, generally located at Spruce Creek Road and Dunlawton Avenue. Rezoning plus or minus 1.66 acres from multifamily residential to government public use, being identified as parcel numbers 6341-05-00-0010 and 6341-04-03-0142, generally located at Roost Street, rezoning plus or minus 0.31 acres from single-family residential to government public use, located at 5797 Devon Street, authorizing revision of the official zoning atlas and providing an effective date.
Wow. So you definitely should have recorded that at the last time. Can I get a motion and a second for ordinance number 2025-20 to approve on second reading?
I move to approve ordinance number 2025-20.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion by council? Any public comment? Back to council for the last time. Clerk, call the roll.
Councilman Foley?
Yes.
Councilman Guthrie?
Yes.
Councilman Green?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Brooks?
Yes.
Mayor Silver?
Yes, 5-0. Did so well at that. Let's try it again. Item 15, second reading of ordinance number 2025-21.
It's an ordinance of the City of Port Orange, Volusia County, Florida, amending Chapter 82, Article 1 to establish a new Section 82-6, authorizing and adopting a private aids to navigation, a patent plan for the purpose of establishing jurisdiction to install and maintain uniform waterway markers to safely guide boaters to and from the River Day dock. Authorizing the city manager to sign all required environmental and navigational permit applications necessary for the Riverwalk Park Day dock project, providing for codification, repeal of conflicting ordinances, severability, and an effective date.
Can I have a motion and a second to approve ordinance number 2025-21, second reading?
Move to approve item 2025-21.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any comments from council? It's on second reading. I'm just curious if the city manager has ever signed a navigational permit in his career. That'll be the first. There you go. Anybody from the public wish to speak to this? And back to council. Comments? No. Clerk, call the roll, please.
Councilman Foley?
Yes.
Councilman Guthrie?
Yes.
Councilman Green?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Brooks?
Yes.
Mayor Silver?
Yes, 5-0. Item 16. Thank you, Mr. City Attorney. Item 16, administrative amendments to the Land Development Code. Do we want to open all of these subsections at the same time? How do we?
Well, that was for discussion purposes. We might as well just do one at a time since it's just going to be a vote.
Okay, all right.
So I'll just leave with A if that's okay with you.
Why don't you go ahead and do that?
Yeah, 2025-23 is an ordinance of the City of Port Orange, Volusia County, Florida, amending the Land Development Code, Chapter 3 Administrative and Chapter 5 subdivisions relating to plat approval procedures to ensure consistency and compliance with recently adopted state legislation amending Section 177.0714 statutes, requiring certain plat and replat submittals to be administratively approved without further action by the governing body, requiring the designation of an administrative authority for the plat review and approval process, setting forth the review timeframe and notice requirements related to the approval process for plat and replat submittals, conforming Section 177.111 for statutes to be consistent with Section 177.071, providing for repeal of conflicting ordinances, severability, and effective date.
Can I get a motion and a second to approve ordinance number 2025-23 on second reading?
Move to approve ordinance number 2025-23.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any comments by council? Seeing none. Anybody in the public wish to speak to this? Seeing and hearing none. Back to council. Clerk, call the roll.
Councilman Foley?
Yes.
Councilman Guthrie?
Yes.
Councilman Green?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Brooks?
Yes.
Mayor Silver?
Yes, 5-0. Second reading of ordinance number 2025-24.
That's an ordinance of the City of Port Orange, Volusia County, Florida, amending the Land Development Code, Chapter 15, relating to digital signs and string lighting, amending the message display time, providing for repeal of conflicting ordinances, severability, and an effective date.
Can I have a motion and a second to approve ordinance number 2025-24 on second reading?
Move to approve ordinance number 2025-24.
And second.
I have a motion and a second. Any comments by council? Second reading. Seeing none. Anybody in the public wish to speak? Hearing none. Back to council. Clerk, call the roll.
Councilman Foley?
Yes.
Councilman Guthrie?
Yes.
Councilman Green?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Brooks?
Yes.
Mayor Silver?
Yes, 5-0. Second reading of ordinance number 2025-25.
That's an ordinance of the City of Port Orange, Volusia County, Florida, amending the Land Development Code, Chapter 16, relating to special setbacks for elevated wood decks, providing for repeal of conflicting ordinances, severability, and an effective date.
Can I get a motion and a second to approve ordinance number 2025-25?
Move to approve ordinance number 2025-25.
And second?
I have a motion and a second. Any comment by council? Anybody in the public wish to speak to this? Back to council. Clerk, call the roll.
Councilman Foley?
Yes.
Councilman Goodson?
Yes.
Councilman Wood?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Phillips?
Yes.
Mayor Snyder?
Yes, 5-0. Item 17, first reading of ordinance number 2025-19.
That's an ordinance of the City of Port Orange, Volusia County, Florida, amending the Land Development Code, Chapter 15, relating to non-conforming signs to incentivize the removal of certain existing non-conforming signs and sign faces in exchange for the allowance of reconstructing by agreement certain existing non-conforming signs and sign faces along the I-95 corridor and Ridgewood Avenue, removing unintended duplicate language, providing for repeal of conflicting ordinances, severability, and an effective date.
Can I get a motion and a second to approve ordinance number 2025-19?
Get a motion to approve 2025-19?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Welcome, sir.
Tim Berman, Community Development. The proposed LDC text amendment has been proposed by Lamar Advertising Company. This would amend the Land Development Code. The amendment there would establish a ability to request a reconstruction agreement from the City Council there to allow them to essentially take down two static billboard sign faces and replace that, install an LED sign face on either location where the existing billboard then. So that could be done on either I-95 or the one location on Ridgewood Avenue, right at Ridgewood and Node Road. The amendment basically states that the reconstruction agreement would have to come back before council. That is currently, if this would be approved, would come back before you on October 7th. That would establish the locations of where the billboard sign faces will be removed and the new ones will be installed. Also, too, the code amendment does provide criteria in terms of how the sign face will operate the LED in terms of message timing, brightness, etc. The language that we use is similar to what's already in the code that was put in place in 2009 when they did the code amendment to allow the billboards across the bridge to go in. So for the most part, we mirrored the text on that, except just updated it due to industry standards. And then as stated before, there was a number of cleanup items there that we took advantage of staff here to clean up our code as part of this amendment. So staff's, our Planning Commission reviewed this, Planning Commission recommended approval, and the applicant's here to further discuss their request.
Thank you. Council, any comments?
So, Tim, so we're reviewing, or we are amending the code here, is that what we're saying?
Yeah, it'd be a code amendment.
How did the one over the bridge already get done?
That was, they actually amended the code back in 2009, similar to this, to put in the code that you can request a reconstruction agreement, and then they requested that got approved in 2009, so we're following the same process there.
Why do we need to have it done then?
Because the one in 2009 was stated that basically that you can only request that if it was damaged by a storm, fire, or wind. This one, they have not been damaged there. They're requesting to upgrade them for the sign face then. So we had to do a new code amendment for the language there to allow them to request the reconstruction agreement.
Okay, that's all right.
Sean, anything?
No.
Gentlemen, anything on this end?
Real quick, I just want to make sure I understand. So this is allowed to have the same brightness as the one that's on the bridge, same speed of rotation and all that?
Correct.
So that's my only concern is the brightness part. And, I happen to frequent US 1. Obviously, it's in my district, and I work in New Smyrna a lot. There was a non-digital billboard that was put just south of our border there, north of the Three Bridges, and it was advertising the Davis or David Brothers or whatever LED lights they had. That thing were absolutely blinding. And I was just down at Jimmy Hula's and kind of taking a look at that billboard ahead of this meeting, and it is rather bright for some of the residential area, which are examples here, right? The 2-for-1s on Ridgewood. I love this idea. I want this to happen, right? I want to see us go to digital, and I want it to be better for businesses. I want a better grasp before I vote yes of how bright is, because I'm very concerned about the proximity to homes, and the last thing I want to do is vote yes on this and have my phone get blown up a lot by people who live there, and they have my number. Trust me.
We're gonna put on the billboard.
Yeah. So I want to say yes to this. Obviously, I'm just concerned about the brightness level. That's the only concern I have at all.
I think the applicant, Rob Merrill, would
Yeah.
be able to answer that question for you. if you're-
Okay.
His speaking part tonight.
There you go.
Rob Merrill with Cobb Cole, One
Welcome.
Daytona Boulevard. Always good to see you guys and spend the evening with you. We're here to answer any questions mostly, and I've got Pete Costanza from Lamar also here. He had a presentation at Planning Commission where he actually did a PowerPoint. I was going to spare you guys that unless you really wanted it. We can do that if you like. But to answer your question, there's actually an automatic dimming system in these boards, and that's probably the reason why in whatever it is, 20 years that board's been there, that there haven't been any complaints. I think there was one lady who lived behind it, and Peter met with her, and they put something up to beautify the back of the board, and everybody seems happy. So I don't think you guys have got any complaints. I think, in fact, we've been doing these electronic boards in lots of different jurisdictions, and people like them. It took a while for people to get used to the LED stuff, and I think it's gotten better in terms of the technology. I've actually been a big part of writing a couple of these codes. Daytona is one example where we did it, and it has a lot of standards, including the brightness. So what happens is, if you went and looked at it, the one over by the dairy bar, and you looked at it closely in the daytime, it's bright.
Because it needs
so
to be,
you can
right?
see it from a distance.
Right.
But as it gets darker, they automatically dim, and it's
Okay.
required by your code. And they're dimmed like 4 times as dark.
And you're right. Anyone who takes a laptop, iPad, if I take my iPad outside and it's new and the brightness has to be at 100
Yeah.
for me to read a text message, versus I could have it on minimum and I could walk out there right now. Does our code require that it does that at dusk, or what time? Is it based on time or at dusk or what?
I think it's
How's it
dusk.
worded?
Yeah,
It's from dusk to dawn.
Is it from
Well,
dusk to
I
dawn?
can tell you this: we did one at the Volusia Mall in Daytona, and the switch stopped turning dimming.
Yeah.
And I believe we got tons of calls that night. So the
There's a
planning director
difference.
called me in his office. You better get this fixed. And so people will notice when it's on bright in the nighttime for sure. So if that happens, we'll hear about it. We'll fix it. Peter lives here, so he's on it. And anytime something like that happens, these guys are good corporate citizens. They're part of the community. They give back. So
Yeah, I'm going to vote yes for this in good faith. Obviously, I trust in you guys that you're going to do the right thing, and overall, I think the concept is the right concept. It's the direction to go. I just want to make sure, like I said, they have my number and they will call. So I have to
you guys
be
have
aware
to
of
have
that.
our numbers.
I'm glad they've got his
know
number.
where we are. Yeah, I've been here. My firm's been here 100 years. I've been here 40 years doing it. So we're not going anywhere.
Absolutely.
I don't have anything specific. I actually like the idea. I think the signs look better. They look sharper. They look cleaner. So I think it's good. I appreciate the fact, I'm sure there's some kind of photo cell there that causes that to automatically dim or however that works. So yeah, I'm good with it.
I think for the most people's perspective is they don't really like billboards. Well, until they're trying to advertise something.
Yeah.
We have
Yeah.
a lot of local businesses that advertise on these boards. But your general, I think, direction is you want to reduce the number of them. And there's not that many. But by eliminating, 2 to put 1 up that's cleaner, I mean, you're making headway on this. So I think it's a positive thing.
And you're right. We don't have a lot of them. I appreciate you bringing that point up. And the location of the ones that we do have work well. So it's good. Anybody else have anything for Mr. Merrill?
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Thanks,
Good to
sir.
see you. Anybody from the public wish to speak to this? No? Hearing none. Back to council. Anything else? All right. Clerk, call the roll for ordinance number 2025-19.
Councilman Foley?
Yes.
Councilman Goodwin?
Yes.
Councilman Gray?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Crooks?
Yes.
Mayor Silver?
Yes, 5-0. Thank you, guys.
Bob, if you could give Pete Jonathan's number.
Some advertising.
Oh, good. Just give him your number.
Maybe we'll put my upcoming shows on one of those slides now that there's lots of options. So.
Your family days. I know that on Dunlap Bridge for family days.
Yep.
Nice.
That's right.
Do give me your email or contact. Just reach out to me. Absolutely. Thanks, man.
All right. Council committee reports, item 18. Volusia Flagler TPO. Councilman Foley.
I was out of town, so I sent my alternate. So I'll defer to my alternate.
And the alternate has nothing to speak on right now.
Nothing new on that. Okay. If there's anything else? If there's anything, you can just bring that back to the next meeting. Item B, Police Pension Board. Councilman Lance Green.
Pension board met quarterly meeting. The overall health of the pension is very well. It currently, before the end of the quarter, it was 69,083,656, and now it's 72,000, almost 73 million, sorry. It went up almost $4 million in a quarter, which is a really good return, and they got really good people running this thing, and a couple other new guys that came in with the death of the actuary guy. They brought in some other people, but again, it's just it's very sound, very solid, and making a good return. With that being said, though, there is going to be an increase. The city's contribution to this pension is going to go up in the next couple of years. So as we move forward, we need to be mindful of that budget-wise, that it is going to cost us a little bit more in the pension because we have lowered their expectation of return. So, but other than that, the pension's very healthy and it's very well managed.
And I'll just comment on that. That's something I've asked the city manager in a future meeting, maybe a workshop or something, to let's have this conversation about all of the pension plans, because they're all three moving towards that direction. And we just need to have a better understanding of what that's going to look like and how to budget for that. And I mean, it's the right thing, you know, and everybody's trying to find that safe balance. I remember the first time I was on pension board back in the 90s, it was, you know, you were always seeing year after year after year double-digit returns, big returns, 12, 14, 16%. And you don't see that consistently anymore. And then when the markets were giving us a hard, you know, really bad time, you were seeing either negative returns or returns in low single digits. So part of this whole thing is to bring, you know, not just us, but this all over the country, but especially in the state of Florida, is make sure that your set expected rate of return is realistic.
Yeah.
And fund accordingly, and then you can always make adjustments there. So anything else on the?
That's it.
All right. One of the most important announcements for this evening for you four gentlemen is a reminder that we have to be back here tomorrow night.
5:30.
5:30. We'll be rolling up in here at 6:30 tomorrow night. So tomorrow night, budget council meeting here at Port Orange City Hall, starting at 5:30. Anything else to come before us tonight? No? Have a good night.